there's no point in me kind of like rushing to play this game at this point. I have mad single player games I'm trying to beat right now. Like ever since I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna put this shit down. I just been focusing straight on Persona 3, bro. I'm almost done Persona 3 now, yo. I haven't even been in the Discord for like the past 4 days, yo. I just been playing Persona 3 like religiously.
How many hours you got in? My man said he just
66. 66 hours. I'm going for the 100% though. So I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? I'm going for the 100%.
That makes sense then, because I don't think he ain't say like he got the platinum or anything
like
that.
Yeah. I'm going for the platinum.
Hours. I think he said he finished it around.
Yeah,
That's not bad. That's not that long compared to the other ones.
Yeah, this one doesn't seem as long as P5. I feel like when it was all said and done, I clocked in like 130 hours in P5 by the time when
you got the platinum on that one.
Yeah, I only have the platinum in the royal version. Yeah, I don't have the platinum in the original version. I think you have to run through that game like twice on the original version to get the platinum. One of these days I'm gonna do it. Still, I like that game that much.
I do the original P5.
Yeah, I do plan on replaying P5 again. I'm kind of in a Persona mood after playing. So I do plan on.
I like what they're doing though, putting out the remakes or remasters.
Yeah,
of the older ones and going backward. I mean, I'm ready for 6, but I do like that they are showing love because
that's a fact.
Persona blew the fuck up after 5, so they trying to cash the fuck out.
Nah, it's smart. It's smart because for people like me who some games I can go back and play easily, but just something I don't know. I really feel like I would like P4 minus Chie because she's the most annoying character in video game history. I feel like I would like P4. But I feel like, it was just so hard to get into it after playing P5 and just jumping back. Which is like going in reverse was kind of tough. You know what I mean? Going in reverse was kind of tough. But there's rumors that they're remaking it. Apparently there's rumors of remaking P4.
P4? Yeah, I don't
know.
I don't know. P5 is like a big leap from 4. Like when you play it and shit like that, the different activities you could do, even like the fights and the way you explore different temples and dungeons and palaces. Like it's just a big difference.
It is. Especially even I'm noticing the differences. Like with what they got to do with Persona 6, they got to keep that kind of palace style. Because honestly, I'm going through Tartarus right now. I'm on like floor 177 or something like that on Tartarus, and some of them locations just get repetitive. I feel like the what they did with the palaces is just next level shit. Like they took that. Each one was super unique. Yeah, man. P5 still, even though I'm having a blast with Persona 3 right now, P5 is still to me. It doesn't top it. It doesn't top it. That game is just too good, bro. It doesn't.
That's gonna be hard to beat. Whatever they do next, that's gonna be hard to beat. But they're buying some time by putting out these older versions and these other iterations of 5. They buying some time that way they can,
Yeah, the funny thing is, playing through Persona 5, I feel like there's things that like, yo, bro, I know some people are want like the dungeon crawling only, but I feel like they just need to go harder with the social links, yo. Do like what Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is doing with the mini game. Do a little bit more like interactive mini games. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be kind of fly. Instead of you kind of selecting your activity that you do and the night is over, how about if you actually had like a mini game for each one? Like I think quality stuff like that is kind of cool to me. I don't know. I'm about that. I'm about that.
I haven't looked too much into the Rebirth shit because I'm playing through remakes still, but that is dope.
There's a lot of mini games apparently in Rebirth. A lot of mini games, bro. But yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with P6. All right, yo, I want to do a quick mic check because a lot of people have been complaining, saying that I'm too low all the time and everyone sounds louder than me. So I might have to do. The funny thing is, I have my mic on loud. Maybe I need with this mic. I need
to turn it up in the OBS.
It's maxed out. Maybe I need to talk into the mic a little bit more, or maybe just everyone around me is I have to kind of just EQ everybody, accordingly.
Yeah.
So
either turn me down then if
that's a turn exactly. So I want to ask y'all in the chat right now. Me and J-Main are about to do a mic check right now, and I'm gonna adjust J-Main's volume so it doesn't overpower mine, so it's just more even. You know what I'm saying? So mic check.
Mic check. Talking about nothing anyway. So
here we go. Here we go.
It makes sense.
J-Man, give him a mic check real quick.
Check. Mic check 1 2 3.
Okay.
Mic check 1 through 3.
Do we need to turn J-Main up or do we need to turn him down? It's good the way it is because I did adjust him a little bit. Okay, perfect.
It's good.
All right, perfect. Well, shout out to y'all in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all in the chat. It's another week, another podcast. We definitely have some great topics to talk about this week. Don't worry, we won't be shouting at each other this week. You know what I mean? Shout out to Major Main. Shout out to Major Main.
Major Main. I'm going bowling this weekend, and my name on there is gonna be definitely Major Main. Sure. Shout out. Talking about? Shout out to
Jamie's turn Jay up a little bit. All right, cool. All right, so let me turn him up.
Are you trying to silence me, bro?
No. I want it to be even. There we go. Turn him up. All right. Give him a mic check.
Mic check. So you know how my vocals sound. Mic check.
Yes, sir. I don't want him to be too quiet either. So hopefully it's perfect. But yeah, we definitely got a good episode for you guys this week. A lot of topics to talk about. I do want to shout out a couple of people in the chat. It's kind of like tradition at this point, man. Shout out to all the mods, first of all. I see y'all. Benji, Strat, those are the boys. Shout out to all the channel members. I see you, Retromatic, Rich Homie Sean. Who else? Just the usual suspects like Blade X, PS Rewind, Kempachi. I see you, Jaren Stamps. Who else up in the chat? DX Taker, Max B, Leaky. These guys are the guys. Mario, Muck. I see you, Muck. Tim, what's up? Who else in here, yo? Black Dragon, what's good? What's good?
I see him in the chat.
Yes, sir. Black Ace, what's good? You know the usual. Salazar Maruto 52, what's good? Yes, sir. All right. So, J-Main, we kind of opened up talking about Persona a little bit. It's pretty much all I've been playing. What have you been playing?
I've been playing. I beat Suicide Squad, killed the Justice League.
I saw you took that shit back.
Yeah, I traded that thing in immediately. I traded out. I was pissed off because I woke up the next day when I was trying to go trade it in. I'm like, damn, they took down, because when I bought it, like a few days, you gotta wait a few days, and then they'll post up how much the game is worth on a trade-in. So I'm like, as long as I can get back at least half of my money that I spent on this, I'm gonna be all right. And originally it was like around $30-something that I can get back for it. But when I beat it, which is now like almost 2 weeks later, I went on the website and there was nothing there. It says there's no value for this game. I said, what the fuck? I'm like, the game ain't do that bad, did it? Like, they not even taking it in. But somebody on Twitter told me, yo, it does that sometimes. You got to go in there and trade it in, and they'll have something for you when you get in there. So when I went in there, traded it in, got $40 back. So technically, I only paid about $30 for that game. At $30, I don't feel like I was ripped off. But overall, the game is mids. Like, I hate putting scores on things, but I'm giving it like a 6.5 if I have to. Gun to my head, 6.5. They did, like, what they did with those boss fights, absolutely garbage. There's probably like 2 out of the 5 that I really liked, but they
repetitive.
Yeah, some of them were repetitive, but I felt like it was just lazy. Like, you're essentially kind of doing the same things over and over, but they didn't make them feel grand enough for me. You going against fucking Superman and Batman, like these boss fights don't feel like they supposed to be like these grandiose epic scenes when you got a regular, most of them are regular humans going up against these aliens and superheroes and shit like that. It's just not, it didn't feel that way. And then some of them were literally copy and paste. Like the very first boss fight and the very last boss fight, copy and paste, dog. Same thing. I couldn't believe what I was playing when I was playing that final boss fight. And then, they're setting up things for the future with the DLC, this being a live service game, which I'm not mad at that. Like, I'm not mad at the game, having a future content and building off of that. I just want the main story to feel like it was complete. And it's cool. I like the story. I like the combat. The traversal is pretty good with certain characters. But the mission design and those boss fights, which are major points for a Kill the Justice League game, it's so bad in comparison to what Rocksteady has done in the past. So yeah, it's mids.
You know what? After playing the alpha or whatever that test, I pretty much everything was just confirmed that I was worried about the game. It came, so I didn't even bother. Like, I was interested in the story. Then the whole story kind of leaked on the timeline. And I kind of seen a lot of it. Then I'm like, you know what? Even the story don't even look all that great either. So you know what? This game is just a total pass to me.
The story is nothing that you like in terms of what they did with the story. Is nothing new. What's unique about it is seeing these superheroes in the perspective that they are. Like, I'm not a comic book guy. I don't know all of the different stories that they have for these superheroes. So seeing Batman in a villain type of role, or seeing, Superman, not have control of what he's doing, and being controlled by another entity, that stuff like that is cool to see. But it's just like, I just wanted more from them, being that who they were. And so I don't know. I'm maybe if it comes out on like PlayStation Plus or something like that, and the DLC has already been building up, maybe I'll jump back in.
But you think it's gonna survive? You know what? But the crazy thing is,
I think it will go to Plus because it's not gonna survive. Like, I think that's gonna be the thing that gets people on it.
But the thing, J-Main, low key, if MPDs drop and it's like one of the higher selling games, I wouldn't even be too surprised, to be honest. I wouldn't be too shocked just because of name recognition. Name alone.
Recognition. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's probably going to be in like mid top 10 for the what? Wait, it's for February.
I believe so.
What else came out in February? You got Helldivers. I don't expect that to do too well physically, but they got digital sales too, so that might be up there. Digital sales,
yeah.
Expected to be in the top 10. I expect it to be in the top 10.
I think it will be, because low key, when even these games that we think kind of suck, right? Just the perception is sometimes totally different between the internet and real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, real life people just walking in and just wanting something to play. And since it's a recognizable IP and stuff like that, I wouldn't be even too surprised if people end up buying, like, the people bought the game and maybe they played it and it's like, yo, it's not that great or anything like that. But I do expect it to at least be higher on the charts for that month we see it on the MPD list. I do expect it. But as for me, like I was saying, I think I will not be playing at all. I don't even think even on the sale.
You ain't missing much. Yeah, Rocksteady is no longer who they used to be, and that's just a fact. It is what it is. Ain't no sugarcoating and nothing like that. It is what it is. I also, of course, was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm trying to finish that up before the new one comes out.
You close?
Nah, hell no. Hell no. I'll beat it before the new one comes out, but I'm not close right now. I'm probably like 4 or 5 hours into the game right now. I got a long way to go. And then Helldivers 2, when I can get into the servers, I've been dabbling in that too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Helldivers. I was playing Helldivers 2 as well. But like I said, I kind of dropped it for now because of like the whole server issues, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait till they get this sorted out. Definitely a great game. And since we're talking about
to say, we might as well get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about the success. Last podcast we were seeing it blowing up, but it hit even more. It hit even more higher peaks than we saw the week before. So I think the current record it holds now is 400,000 concurrent players on Steam. Right?
457,000.
57? Damn.
Yeah, 457,649.
Damn.
That is the peak. That was from 2 days ago. And that places it at a top 25 Steam game. No, is it 25? Yes, a top 20. Excuse me, top 20 Steam concurrent game of all time.
That's impressive. That's very, very impressive. And I honestly think if it wasn't for the server issues, it probably would have hit a little bit higher, because the word of mouth for this game has been crazy. Memes have been going all over the internet. I've been seeing people make crazy artwork for this game. The game just took off.
TikTok. It's a major game on TikTok too. I didn't even know the TikTok scene was that crazy. I went over there. I was like, yo, this shit blew up on TikTok. But yeah, what the developers were saying about a few days ago is that the max server capacity was like 450,000. So what we were seeing when the game was at 400,000 on Steam is that there are people like on the game, but not even able to get in, just trying to get into the servers because it was at capacity, and the game was still at like 400 and something thousand. And it also reached the top #1 game on PlayStation Store, at least for the US it did, surpassing games like Fortnite, which we know is already like a big a popular game and shit like that.
And it's free to play.
Yeah, right? And it's free to play. Right. So yeah, it passed games like Call of Duty, Fortnite and shit like that, things that are free to play, and this is a $40 game. So I don't know. They do have to be careful though, because one thing that has been dropping in the midst of all this success is some of the ratings. So Steam, those ratings have dipped down into the 60 percentile. And that's because of the server issues, people having issues getting on. So they got to be careful. I know at this point they've already exceeded all the success that they had planned.
They probably made all their money. They probably made all their money back already.
Oh yeah,
all their money.
They like at this point they like they're already I do like how the CEO, he's been very transparent on social media. So he's been talking about how they scrap plans for DLC and future content just to make them bigger. So he talking a good game right now. He's telling the people what they want to hear in the midst of all of this. He even told motherfuckers to stop buying the game. Like he's like, yo, I wouldn't even recommend buying the game right now because of the server issues. That's how they made their money back.
People, you know what? Like gamers, him being transparent like that and saying stuff like that, like people appreciate that. You know what I mean? Especially coming from like a company head who's not really supposed to say something like that. It's kind of supposed to like sell you more on the game. So I come to learn, at least when it comes to like gamers on the internet, we kind of appreciate that type of transparency and that honesty. So it seems
for a certain amount of time, though.
Yeah. You do have a duration. You're definitely right about. Yep. You do have a duration, but if this obviously continues into next week, the week after, 4 weeks in, the servers are still bad, then people are gonna be angry. And at the end of the day, people are gonna end here and to drop the game. But you do have a grace window. You do have a grace window because I think none of us kind of foresee this game's success, and it's been like a great story to watch unfold. And I'm pretty sure like people who are in the know just know like, yo, where did this game come from? I've seen so much comments saying like, yo, what's up with Helldivers 1? You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't even know nothing about no Helldivers 1, right? So clearly this game just absolutely blew up. And I want to ask you a question, J-Man. I want to ask the chat a question. Just a question. Today I ain't gonna start my PlayStation PC shit. I'm not. I promise. I ain't gonna start that. I ain't gonna start that today. Since you guys hate talking about that shit, I'm not gonna start it. But I do want to ask a question, Jamie. If Helldivers 2 released solely on the PlayStation 5, do you think it has this much talk around it or buzz around it? Do you think it's as hyped? And look how popular it is. Would it this been a system seller for the PlayStation? Would people run out to go play Helldivers? Or you think because it launched on PC at the same time, hitting both communities at once, that the game blew up all over the place? So I want to get your opinion. Then I definitely want to read the chat and see what they think. So if this game launched exclusively on the PlayStation, would it see this much success as we're seeing today?
Oh, I'm gonna say, I mean, as much. No, I think we could say that like it wouldn't see as much success as it is now, only because a lot of the word of mouth that has been spreading has kind of been coming from the PC community. I ain't gonna cap. A lot of the guys on the PC like side that I've been seeing, a lot of the videos that have been going viral. I mean, even the video that I took from Reddit that ended up having like 5 million views on Twitter, I believe that was somebody playing it on PC. So they they share a lot of gameplay on the forums. They they post a lot of images and videos on social media. So I think the PC community actually propelled the game on PlayStation.
That's what I was about to say. I was just about to say that. I think because look, you know what's so beautiful about the Steam and seeing the numbers? We're steadily seeing this game grow and grow. So I think it's selling more. It's people who weren't interested on it on PlayStation. Now they piqued their interest. They're like, yo, what's going on over here with this Helldivers? I think this being on PC even helps sell the PC community. Yeah, I think this game doing so well on PC helped people jump into it who have a PS5 console to even go out and buy the game. I think that's a big factor of it because the game just became a thing. It just became a thing. Yeah. So I read the chat. Most people believe this game wouldn't be nowhere near as popular if it didn't launch on PC.
I ain't gonna say nowhere near, but I think it would have still been successful because it was a lot of good buzz going into the game release, with the game being like, looking much different than the first one. Like you said, some people didn't even know about the first one, so they coming in off of the perspective of, oh, what the hell is this? Helldivers 2 has been at a lot of the state of plays. They've dropped a lot of trailers on the PlayStation, but I think it's undeniable that the PC side definitely helped because this is the type of game that speaks to them. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's not a lot of PvE other than like Destiny. Like that's the big one. division, but the PvE games, they aren't really that big on the consoles. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the PvE stuff really like sings and speaks to the PC community. So I do think they definitely help propel this game to a new height.
Okay, so you don't think that if Helldivers was exclusive, it would drive more players to buy in a PlayStation to experience it?
It wouldn't have. Nah, it wouldn't have passed like things like Fortnite and Call of Duty. It wouldn't have without the PC community.
Interesting. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. But that's good. I'm glad the game's seen all the success. Hopefully they address the server issues. Apparently it's not that easy to add more servers to the game. I think the CEO came out and said it has something to do with like the coding and the back end, and it takes a lot more work. It's not just like picking up a phone call and buying more servers from Microsoft or something like that. So hopefully
I heard also too that the game was built on an engine that is actually no longer even available.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo,
they stunt their own growth. They stunt their own growth then.
But that's how you know they probably was not
they're not planning for
this. They wasn't planning for it to be this big. So for it to be on an engine like this, to hold that many people on the server, like it wasn't planned for this. And I hope they don't come to bite them in the ass in the future. Hopefully, when they get the server capacity situated, it'll be better. Like even today, they came out with a patch that stopped people who like to sit idle on the game just so they don't get booted out and have to come back in. So you got 15 minutes. If you even if you put the game in rest mode for more than 15 minutes and you on the server, it'll kick you out.
Kick you out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's smart.
Today was the first day since Sunday. No, it might even been Saturday. First day since the weekend that I was able to get on the game and log directly into the server. So it could be a mixture of people just dropping the game because of the server issues, but I do think that a lot of niggas was hoarding server space just so they don't get kicked out.
Because it's just even if you're just a console player, it's just easy I don't turn off my PlayStation ever. I just put it on standby, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people just do that. So if you're already in the game, just put your shit on standby and you leave and you're just hogging up server space. So it's a good idea for them to kick the idle players. I think that was a smart temporary fix for what's going on here. What would you like to see them implement now the game is blowing up so much? What would you like to see implement? I'll be right back. Tell the phone.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know how many of y'all played the first Helldivers game, but I kind of talked about it a little bit in the last podcast. But I feel like they had more upgrade ability for like the weapons and stuff like that. In this game, it just seems like you get a weapon and it is what it is from that point forward. So I would like to see them probably add some more upgrade trees to the weapons. Shaders would be nice too for not the cosmetics, but the armor, because it seems like they have a set amount of new armors that they have in the store that rotate. But it would be cool if you could like switch up the colors on the armors that you buy. Shout out to Blade X. He said quick match is working perfectly. Yeah, I was playing yesterday, and when I was able to get into the server, I did quick match like 4 times, and it was working good. No issues on that part. So they definitely fixed that. I don't think at this point they're going to add the ability to be in a down state, but that would be cool to see them bring that back, because I just think that adds a whole nother dynamic to the game where you can, they take you out, but you're still down and have the ability to be picked up rather than someone having to use reinforcements to call you back. I think that would be dope. But if the game is cool the way it is, I just think they need more customization, more mission types, more styles of missions and campaigns. The planets, I think, are procedurally generated, so those are going to vary and switch up each time. And just keep up with the content. Keep that shit going.
Right now on Steam, J-Man, they got 359,000 players playing. So it's the community's holding up. People are actually having fun and enjoying the game. So now at this point, it's up to PlayStation. It's up to PlayStation to keep this going. They gotta help them out, support them, because listen, we've been hearing Jim Ryan talk about the live service games, and it seems like you started off on a great foot. You finally got one. You finally got one for a better start than this. You kind of already got one. And it seems like a game like this, with the right care, it can evolve to something really big. You know what I'm saying? Like bigger. Depending, I don't know their constraints because of the engine, this, that, and that. But it seems like a game that, with a couple of, even just something simple as character skins and crossovers, like you can do a lot for people to just even just stick around and play the game. But like you said,
people even going crazy off that Twitch drop skin because they think that's a Master Chief nod because it's called it's 117 something and it's green, of course. So you know.
I see.
So they saying, oh, that might be like a little Master Chief nod right
there. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, it's now they gotta just put mad money behind this to keep it going. Because I think right now they got like the core experience is really good. It's really fun to play with friends. So they just need to just keep on adding stuff.
More enemy types for sure.
Because it's gonna get boring fast. More weapons, enemies, or that shit will get boring. If you don't add more enemies.
They do a good job within the enemy types that they have of having a variety. Like each enemy type in terms of the bugs and the automatons, it's like 10 or 15 different types of those robots. But they just need more of the type. Like, if you know what I'm saying, like bugs, robots, and something else. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They don't even have to make a totally new faction, but like you're saying, they could just make more bugs to drop in and maybe do big events where there's like a super one, like a super boss that like people have to fight for like special rewards and stuff like that. Like they could do cool stuff with this. There's a lot of opportunity, and I think they should seize it because it seems like they're off to an absolutely fantastic start. So shout out to them, shout out to the people at Arrowhead.
Man. And then they got the like the campaigns, like the major campaigns, like how how like the first week we were playing the bug planets and we had to liberate the 2 planets and shit like that as a community, and then this week is the automaton. So like stuff like that is going to keep people that are really into the game, that's going to keep them a little occupied. But for the people that might step away once they get bored, they're going to need those crossovers, those big events, those things to draw people back in.
Yep, exactly. So. All right, so moving on. J-Man, we got confirmation. We got confirmation of all the Xbox games going to PlayStation. They're not rumors no more. So
no longer.
Do you have the dates in front of you? Let's see.
I can pull them up.
We can pull up the dates.
Yes, I got them right here.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
All right, so break it down for us.
All right, so Phil Spencer got up on that podcast and talked about 4 games being brought to other platforms from the Xbox Game Studios, and he didn't mention the 4 games at that podcast, but did say that they were coming in in the first half of 2024. And thanks to Nintendo, who did a direct, a partner showcase direct. Yeah. We learned about 2 of them, and then PlayStation later on announced the other 2. So we got Pentiment from Obsidian Entertainment, which is coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch as of today. It's out today.
Pentiment.
So go out there and buy Pentiment. I never played it. I don't know if you have.
And listen, I remember a while ago when it launched, I think Microsoft sent me a code. I couldn't get into it. It's not personally my style of game, but check it out. It might be your style of game, right? From what I see, people call it really good. Apparently, it's supposed to be some murder detective type of game, but obviously, it got a really creative art style and stuff like that. Go check it out. The reviews for the game is really, really good. It wasn't my cup of tea, but maybe you guys will be interested. So I think it's currently on sale for $20 on PSN. So go check it out. And go look at gameplay and see if it's something that you would play. What else, Jamie?
It's like a novel.
It's not even. I don't even think it's a novel.
Narrative
it's like a narrative detective. Okay. Yeah, it's like a narrative detective. Shit, something like that. Just go look at gameplay for it and see if it's something that you're into. It's not really my.
I actually never looked at gameplay for this game, so I just saw the shit looked like a picture book. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I'm good.
What else?
I definitely want to look at it and see if I'm gonna check it out. I'll probably play it on Game Pass if I'm interested. But the next game that we learned about that's coming to other platforms is Hi-Fi Rush. So Hi-Fi Rush. It's actually only coming to one other platform, and that's PlayStation 5. It's not coming to PS4. It's not coming to Nintendo Switch. And that is scheduled to release on March 19th.
Okay, so next month, Hi-Fi Rush is coming to PlayStation. Okay, so you know, last podcast I mentioned, if I was a PlayStation fan or a PlayStation fanboy and you want more to accelerate things, I would support some of these games. This is the one that you support. I think this is the one that you would support because Hi-Fi Rush is a good game. Hi-Fi Rush is a very, very good game. So I
out of all of these,
out of all the games they showed,
Hi-Fi Rush.
Go play Hi-Fi Rush.
Be the one
it's
I
a good
recommend.
Game. Artistically,
I was surprised.
Gameplay cool.
I was surprised to not see it announced for Switch, but
maybe can't run. Maybe Switch 2. That's a rumor now that's going around saying that it's gonna be a launch title for the Nintendo Switch 2. And I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked at all if that was the case.
See that. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I just didn't think this game couldn't run on the Switch, but I guess it would have to be probably a minimum 60 FPS
at all times.
Yeah, for a rhythm type of game.
Yep.
So yeah. Next up on the list. Would you want to talk more about Hi-Fi Rush? Or?
Okay, I do want to mention that physical copies is coming for Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush, and they're going to be through limited run games. So if you're somebody like me who thought like a physical copy of Hi-Fi Rush would be super dope, it is coming, but it's going to be through limited run games. So I'm pretty sure you're going to have to like pre-order off their website when it becomes available. They don't have it up for pre-order now, but they said they will talk about it at a later date. But for people who do want a physical copy of Pentiment, it's available now for you to pre-order.
Have you bought anything from limited run games before?
I feel like I have one game from them.
I hear nothing but bad things about limited run games.
Oh, yeah?
Like, people say you don't get your games in like a timely fashion and shit like that. I had I know Jack Move. I think he probably has some issues, but he always have issues with everybody. Neo GameSpark was what he said. He said if you order from limited run games today, you'll receive your game by the time your child walks the stage at graduation.
Damn, they slow like that?
I was like,
damn.
what the fuck? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what. I didn't know it was that bad. So I don't know. I thought maybe you have
that's tough. That sucks. More
experience with them.
I feel like I bought one game from them. It was a while ago. I can't even remember how my experience was. I feel like I bought one game from them before. That's crazy.
Well, on PlayStation Store it's $29.99. And if you got PlayStation Plus, it's 10% off, so $26.99 if you're interested.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Black Dragon in the chat said he bought Persona 3 and 4 and still haven't got it since September. God,
that's crazy.
Holy shit.
Damn. All right, So I guess this. I don't know why they just didn't release regular physical copies, but that's neither here or there. I guess Microsoft doesn't want to waste any sort of money on manufacturing and shipping or whatever they got to deal with to put those on the store shelves. But it is what it is.
If like bigger titles come later down the line, I think they might get physical releases. Yeah. Like if the Master Chief Collection come to PlayStation, I feel like that'll get a physical release.
I feel like it sells more copies if you give it the opportunity, if you give it a physical, because a lot of even though digital is eclipsed physical media, at least from what we see, I think on PlayStation they said something like 60%, 66 or something like that.
Yeah, 66 was the last report.
But yo, what the hell? Like 34 is still a pretty good number, yo. You know what I mean? Like I think it's worth supporting. I think it's still worth supporting. But yeah, what else? They confirmed coming to PlayStation.
They confirmed that Grounded, another game from Obsidian Entertainment. It's Obsidian, love them some PlayStation. Is coming April 16th. It will be cross-play supported. And it's coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch. So everybody will be able to play together. And they also announced that it has crossed 20 million players. But they say 20 million players into the backyard of Grounded.
Okay. There you go. Grounded is coming to PlayStation in April.
You was on Grounded a little bit when that came out. You know what I mean?
People are gonna call me crazy, but that game is a good time. That game is a good time with friends. Another good game. Listen, if you're running around playing Power,
you ain't going back to it, dog. You ain't going back to it.
If people are running around playing Power Worlds, give Grounded a chance. It's actually pretty fun. And when you run into one of them spider those with the boys, that shit was entertaining as hell, bro. When the spider's busting in your base, yo, that shit is crazy.
Hey, hold on, pause that.
Okay, relax.
Spiders busting.
Super pause.
I'm gonna turn on that phobia mode. I don't want no spiders busting into my base. I'm good. Thank you.
Never says good with friends type. Yo, that's a lot of. That sounds like Helldivers 2 to me too. I ain't gonna hold you.
I play a lot of Helldivers by myself.
Nah, I need to play with people. I need to play with people. That game is so much more fun with people.
It's definitely more fun with more people. But I can play it by myself.
But the ground is actually really not that bad. I know people are gonna give it a bad rep because just how the game looks, but the game is actually pretty fly. It is actually pretty fly. But if you play this, if you know, you know.
Well on Switch.
If you know, you know.
I do see it doing well on Switch. I don't know if the PlayStation is gonna fuck with this.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Switch, I think Switch gang might see what's up. But it's crossplay, so that's always a good thing.
That's good.
Play it with your friends.
And last one.
Last but not least, we have the greatest replacement to melatonin, the greatest sleep aid since a BG video. Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves from Rare. I think this is the first game from Rare that's on a PlayStation platform. I think they said.
They said in 40 years or something like that. 40-year history. Years.
Yeah, and they celebrated in grand fashion. They said
they're happy. They sound happy as shit.
They hype. They posted a video, this montage of everybody asking, when does it come to PlayStation? When does it come to PlayStation? And they say your questions have been answered. And Sea of Thieves is coming to PlayStation 5.
They're like, finally, someone's gonna buy our game. Yeah. They're happy as shit.
But yeah, it's actually out April 30th. And you could wishlist it, I guess, today.
Listen, J-Man, I got no slander for Sea of Thieves today. I played it at launch way back. I don't know if y'all remember that classic stream where the blanket and the pillow came out. But what's it called? I played it way back at launch, and yes, the waves were really nice, J-Man. The waves were really nice. But that gameplay loop was so trash at the time. They got us like catching chickens and doing all sorts of weird shit. So, Sea of Thieves is a games as a service and has been going on for a hot minute. Yeah. So, I don't know if
I hear it's much better today.
It's way better today. I'm actually a little bit curious. I don't know if I'm curious enough to go download it and try it for myself, but I'm curious enough to maybe look at some YouTube content, watch a video to see what they did since launch. But hey, man, apparently, listen. I see nobody in this community fuck with Sea of Thieves at all, but it seems to garner a decent player base at one point. I think when it launched on Steam, it had like 5 million players. I don't know what streamer streamed the game, but the shit like started to take off and have a little bit of a community. I don't know if you remember that. I think a streamer streamed it, then all of a sudden it got popping. And it got popping.
Alex used to always say who the streamer was. I forgot the fucking name.
Yeah, I forgot the name.
But yeah, he was saying like after the dude streamed it, it was out of here. I forget, maybe somebody in the chat will know his name, but they do say the total players at least is 35 million. So a lot of people at least attempted it or tried it out. But I wasn't one. Oh, this is what I want to ask you. Sea of Thieves, it kind of it typically brings up this debate or question on social media. People feel like a game like Sea of Thieves should be re-reviewed at this point because of all the content and shit that they've dropped. And the state that the game is in now compared to what it was when it first launched. So I think on like Metacritic, it's sitting at, I think it's in the 60s or something like that. But people swear that it's a much better game today. Do you feel like review sites should go back and change their scores on what Sea of Thieves was then versus what it is now?
That's a good question. So pretty much games as a service, since it's ongoing, like it can launch trash, but later down the road get better. So do they deserve to get re-reviewed?
Yeah.
Yeah, by accident. Wow. I'm gonna say no. I can understand the reason, the logic why thing, but I'm gonna say no because I feel like we can't set a precedent where launching a game terrible and fixing it later is acceptable. I think it kind of sets that kind of precedent that people will get back to this and give it great scores once we get our act together and actually fix our game and make it better. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we have to, if the game's launching on this day, we have to judge it at its merits at launch. If it gets better, then it gets better. You know what I'm saying? I think that incentivizes developers, at least for launch, that the game is up to snuff and has enough content and is quality. You know what I'm saying? So I think they should leave it at that as a mark that to show other developers, launch your game dope. So you get great reviews out the gate and as the game continues to get content, people are just happy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it just sets a bad precedent if you keep on going back to re-review games after it was trash at launch, but they fixed it later. I don't think that's it sets a good precedent. I think we should keep that nasty stain there, so it's a symbol, that nasty review score. So it's a symbol for other developers to launch their games, at least in a better state day one for the first day players to enjoy.
I agree, because that also has been like a topic about the reviews for Helldivers. Like I think some of the reviews have dinged it for the servers, but the servers now are way worse than they were like a week ago. And so people are like, "Oh, should they go back and dock the score with this that close?" You know what I'm saying? So I don't know with the Helldivers. I think it's a little bit more trickier. It's like because it's so close to the release that I don't think I really would be mad if they went back and changed it. But for a game like Sea of Thieves or any game like that going forward, I think if you are inclined, like if you feel like you want to do it as a review site, I think they should have like season reviews, because that's usually when a big chunk of content comes out.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
You can
that's a good
review
idea
the
too.
season as well as the state of the game, because I do think live service games need to be reviewed
the DLC
on a
or
periodic
expansion
basis. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm cool with that. If you're reviewing a DLC or an expansion and like writing an article and like maybe, but using that as a separate entity, I think that's fine. I see Black Dragon. Separate. I see Black Dragon in the chat said they shouldn't review the PS5 version. No, I think if it comes to a different platform, you could re-review a game because now you're reviewing that game for a different platform. So I'm pretty sure Sea of Thieves is gonna have a different review versus the Xbox.
It's probably gonna
be
higher.
It's probably be higher.
You know that's gonna cause a stir on the timeline. That shit.
Yeah, they're gonna be PlayStation. I told you it's biased. It's biased.
Yeah. Refer back to this video when it happened, because I already see the rumblings.
Yeah, I can see that too. But if a game comes to a different platform, I think the same thing happened with Ori. When it hit to the Nintendo Switch, new reviewers reviewed the Nintendo Switch version. I think that's all fair in game. I think that's fair in game, so I have no issue with that.
And that shit also works against games sometimes too. I've seen remasters come out and get lower scores than the original game because people have felt like they haven't done enough in the remaster to warrant a score as good or as high as the original version did. Yeah. So it definitely works both ways when it comes to re-releasing a game or putting it on a different platform.
Yeah, I definitely could see that's crazy. I could definitely see the PlayStation version of Sea of Thieves actually be reviewed higher, yo. That's a wild. I could see that because it should be reviewed higher if it has all this extra content in it, and we're getting like after how many seasons of Sea of Thieves content, like they have mad seasons now, so I wouldn't be shocked if it has a higher review score than the original release on the Xbox. So I wouldn't be shocked.
But I do think like that whole seasons thing, like I feel like that should be a thing. Like seasons get reviewed, and I think it should be attached to these websites as like Metacritic, OpenCritic.
Maybe
just
it
so
shouldn't get
can
scores.
see it.
Sometimes scores be over. Maybe they shouldn't get scores, but
I'm
they
not
should
mad
review
at
it because people don't want to read no damn review or hear any opinion. All the people want to do is scroll to the bottom, look at the score,
and get the
skip
number
to the end of the video, look at the number. That's all people do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to listen to what they actually really be saying. Like I don't understand, bro. But yeah,
I don't think I would be mad at it getting the score, but it shouldn't reflect what the original score. Like, don't then merge it in and average it out with the original. Just have it separate. Like, you switch the tab over or click a little arrow and they show you all the seasons and what the season scored or something like that.
Yeah. All right. So, Jamie, I think we touched on it a little bit last podcast, but this is just the beginning. It's clear as day. This is just the beginning.
Oh, Xbox came out and said it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that tweet, but I think that tweet. So on Twitter, somebody had asked the Xbox account after they started announcing everything on their official Twitter account. They was like, how'd it go? He says, the days of exclusivity should come to an end. Gaming is a better place when we can all play any game on any platform. Xbox replied, the official account, and I know it's probably some intern or whatever, but it's just hilarious that they said the biggest games will be more than just one platform. So I think some people was getting on me for saying that was something, but if Xbox wasn't putting their games on other consoles, then I could just take that as Xbox and PC. But because they've shown already now the willingness to put their games anywhere where they feel like it makes sense, I just think, yeah, I think that means anything for them, anything for Xbox.
Listen, the people who think it's gonna end with these 4 games are completely delusional, and that's just the end of the discussion. If you think it's gonna end with these 4 games, then it makes no sense. There's some doors when you open, they stay open, and I would fully expect more titles to cross over. I'm willing to bet money to anybody that next year we'll probably see another drop of Xbox games that from Xbox Game Studios on PlayStation. Not even just the Bethesda, what we expect, the Activision games, but from Xbox Game Studios themselves. I could definitely see it. Because once you
talking second half 2024.
Oh shit! Once you open the door like this, there's no closing. There's no closing. What's the rumor right now?
Yeah, so the second half of 2024, that's when people would the rumor is like Gears, the next Doom game that's going to be announced is coming to PlayStation day one, and some other games. I forget what the other games was, but yeah, there are already rumblings about the second half of 2024 because I think he did say in that podcast, he's like, yeah, this is, just the first 4 games with the first half of 2024, and we'll see where it goes from there. So I think they're already at least talking about it.
Yeah, they're so smart with that stuff because, he just had to say key words. No, we don't have Starfield or Indiana Jones planned. And all the Xbox guys said, fine, we okay. We okay. Hold on, Jay, man. Hold it down for a second.
Yeah, for sure. Hello? This is just the tip. Y'all crazy. Just the tip. Yeah, listen, Xbox fans, they going through it. I'm seeing some of them. They say, no, it's just these 4 games. Some of them are like, yeah, it's over. Like, they were disappointed because there were games announced at the Nintendo Direct the other day that already is excluding Xbox. So they're like, we giving up games to other platforms and we still got games not coming to our platform. So them boys they upset. But I do think the floodgates is open. They got so many games that they could bring to. I think Gears is a no-brainer to bring to PlayStation. Like, that's a game that I want to see survive. I want to see have a bigger player base. So if they ever plan to come out with like a Gears collection, like a remaster collection, like something that they did with the first one, but for the rest of the games, I think that needs to be on all platforms day one. I think that do, because I just think that makes sense for the franchise. Doom, the next Doom game? That's what they was. I'm trying to find the article. Hold on. Doom 2024 PlayStation, because yeah, people was talking about that thing being on PlayStation day one. Fire Phil Spencer. This whole games won't be exclusive in the future. Only applies to Xbox because they don't have a great game. I'm gonna be real with y'all. At this point, I think Phil is probably one of the last people in that in the office in those meetings fighting for exclusivity. I think, like, he does say the things like when we all play, what is it? When we all play, we all win, or whatever he says. I think he's probably one of the last ones in that office fighting. I think guys like Satya Nadella, whoever the CFO, I forget his name. I think those guys are head over heels with putting their games on other platforms. Every single game. I think Phil has like a barometer of games that he's like, all right, a game like Starfield, a game like Indiana Jones, a game like maybe even like a Hellblade, he's probably like, this can't go to PlayStation. Shit, almost never.
My bad.
Nah, you good.
You're good. All right, what you on right now? Just talking about the games?
Yeah, just the whole Xbox thing. Somebody was saying Fire Phil Spencer. I'm like, he's probably one of the last people in that office fighting for some type of exclusivity. I think guys like Satya Nadella and the CFO, they're like, yo, put everything on
It's over for that. Right? It's over for that. Once again, I think it all boils down to like development costs. Some of these games, right? Once again, Microsoft did a huge purchase. Some of these games were selling millions on PlayStation. You got to remember that. Doom Eternal, the original Doom 2016, probably did extremely well on PlayStation. So just to kind of cut off that user base, right? You're going to have to fill the void with some, right? Like, I don't know, man. So it probably makes sense for them that, like, yo, if it's not driving our Game Pass subscribers up and we're not really selling, we're actually selling less copies now than we were selling before. Obviously, someone's going to look at it and be like, yo, we got to put this on PlayStation, bro. We got to put this over there to make some money, yo. I don't know. It makes sense in my mind. It makes total sense in my mind. So I think
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's just been surreal, like seeing Xbox like talk about their games being on other platforms like that, especially PlayStation. Like, motherfuckers came a long way from being in the lunchroom arguing with niggas about fucking Halo being on Xbox
the times are different,
PlayStation. Right? It's crazy.
Even like the whole PlayStation PC thing. Like, this is a conversation like 8 years ago. 7 years ago, J-Man, you were crazy if you were saying, like, if you told somebody 7-8 years ago that, Uncharted is going to be launched on Steam, you know what they'll say to you, bro? You know what they'll say? You know what the type of shit they'll say? You know what the type of shit they'll be saying? Bro, so we're in a different time for real. We're definitely in a different time. And then
so do you think this is the future of gaming for everybody? Where not just on PC, but motherfuckers is mixing and mingling shit everywhere. Nintendo is gonna start doing it. PlayStation is gonna start doing it, putting their shit on Xbox.
See, I don't like to use the word never. You see, that's why people, especially in this industry, I do not like to use the word ever. You know why? Because I'm already seeing like PlayStation do say, PlayStation will never put games on Xbox. I don't like that never, because you can't talk in absolute in the gaming industry. I feel like you just can't talk in absolutes, because it could happen. It could happen for whatever circumstances, while it have to do with laws. How do you know, once again, someone makes a law like, we want to abolish this exclusive shit, blah blah blah. That type of shit could happen, and boom, look what happens. Or it could be an anomaly, like an MLB situation. If you want to continue producing this game, put this shit on Xbox. So I don't like using the word I don't like using the word never. I don't like that word.
I think when people say never, it's like they're not thinking about stuff like that. I think stuff like that is out of the control of, just like the control of the publishers and the console manufacturers and shit like that. Like for PlayStation, could there ever be a point where they put like games that aren't really selling anymore on other platforms?
So but Jamie, you see, look, what we're talking about, once again, the discussion that we're even having right now would have been ludicrous 10 years ago. It would have been ludicrous. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't talk in absolutes. I can't say PlayStation will never put a game on Xbox or on the Xbox platform. I can never say that. I just don't feel comfortable saying that, because I feel like it's definitely like, who knows what could happen, I think at this time period though, where PlayStation is on the market today, it doesn't really seem like it makes sense for them to put a game on Xbox like that, unless if they just really want to just make it. It doesn't make like, I feel like PC is like the good middle ground platform to get your extended revenue, your extra revenue that you would want off some of these IP, because you're already dominating on the console side of things. You're still capable of selling 100 million units, but maybe it comes to a day that consoles don't sell 100 million anymore, or who knows if that day will come, that all these guys can't sell 100 million consoles no more, but they're selling a little bit different. But they gotta kind of just put their IP at different places. I don't know. Who knows, bro, at this point. But one thing I won't do is say never. That's one thing I won't do. I'm not gonna say never. Say never. But it's definitely interesting times we in.
I could see them doing it on a Nintendo platform. I just don't. I was gonna say I just don't know where they benefit from putting shit on Xbox. But if Microsoft is giving a crazy bag for some shit to be on Game Pass, like, who knows? They might fuck around and do.
So how about the Xbox console don't exist anymore? Let's just say hypothetical. The Xbox console don't exist. So what's to say that Microsoft? Like what you just said, Microsoft won't pull up to PlayStation. It's like, put this on Game Pass for us. Well, this is the money for this. So, like who does that hurt? Who does that really hurt? If you really think about it, does that hurt PlayStation? Maybe their subscription service, they're gonna be like, if they have one at the time that's like really competing with Game Pass like that, like some evolution of like the Plus. Who knows, Who really knows at this point? All I know is none of this really affects me. I'm gonna enjoy my gaming regardless, because me, I really don't care for the plastic box. I don't have like a love for the plastic box, but I'm having more of a love for the actual the game. I think we need to give credit more to the developers, the game itself. Like we should hype up those. Where like you're playing the game,
I do think exclusivity does matter still, though. I don't know. I just feel like while sometimes the exclusives ain't the best selling games on the platform, it kind of gives it a DNA when you got that, you know what I mean? That game that's
does anything have a DNA anymore? Does anything? But think about it, in 2020, does anything have a DNA anymore?
I do. I think so. I think PlayStation right now has the DNA of the single player story driven blockbuster games, and I think
Bro.
those ones that are exclusive to them.
But they said themselves, yo, it's not even exclusive anymore. Everything is a glorified time exclusive, J-Man. Even right now, even for that specific game you're talking about, it's not even exclusive. It's a glorified time exclusive. So what DNA are you really talking about?
But that's still enough of a DNA, because games ain't 2 years, a year, even 6 months after. It's not going to do as much as it's done in the first, when it first gets on the fucking market. So that's still a DNA enough for people to go out. As long as you're still trying to sell a box. If Xbox gets out of the box race, then forget it. All bets are off.
You know what?
You're still trying to sell a platform.
You know why I think that thing doesn't make sense to me? The sell the box thing doesn't really make too much sense to me, because let's look at a year at 2023. How many exclusives does PlayStation have? Or like your Mr. Major, how many major exclusives did PlayStation have in 2023?
One.
J-Man, how many months did they win an MPD in 2023?
They ain't got no competition, dog. Like,
so once again, so what are we? That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, PlayStation is even selling off the strength. They only released one major game last year, one major IP last year, and they're selling off the strength anyways.
But it's off the strength, but it's also off of. They have other games too on that platform that people still are picking up a PS5 to play. Just because it's 2024 or 3 doesn't mean that they can't play games for 2022,
that's
2021,
true.
2020.
That's true.
They building up a whole catalog
when we get the breakdown from UK, the US, we might see 1 or 2 exclusives on a top 10 list. 1 or 2 exclusives.
Yeah,
on the top 10
I don't think the exclusives are the things that sell these consoles.
I think FIFA and 2K probably sells more consoles than the freaking
for sure.
Fucking Spider-Man,
for sure, Madden, 2K,
a GTA would sell more consoles than a freaking thing, yo. So my whole point is
those exclusives give it it gives it a image, like a DNA. Like, all right, if I want to get those games on PlayStation, the exclusives, I know I gotta go there. I know I can play 2K Madden anywhere. I can play it on Xbox, but I'm not gonna pick up the Xbox because I want to also get those PlayStation exclusives as well, in addition to the 2Ks. That's all.
I see what you're trying to say, but I think we're getting more and more away from that. That's the way the industry looks like, because once again, what's really exclusive nowadays? Like, if you're not looking at like a Nintendo console, and we're not talking about games that you get acquired legally by obviously emulation or stuff like that, right? Like, what's really exclusive? PlayStation already came out and confirmed to you, a year or 2 later, we're gonna put this shit on. They're already doing the day and date. The day and date's here. They're doing the day and date with the live service games. They might even start doing that with remakes with Until Dawn. That might be the first time we see a remake. That sounds like it's gonna be day and date to me, right? So, and they already said okay with the other stuff, maybe a year or 2 years, which who knows what will change. I think it will change.
Yep.
You don't think it will change, but I still feel like
no, I think it'll
nothing
change.
is exclusive. Nothing is exclusive.
I think it's gonna get as low as 6 months. Like, I'm telling you, I think it could get as low as 6 months.
And my argument is, like, if you're just gonna stagger to release 6 months, release it the same day. It will do probably more just off hype alone.
Nah,
it will do more off hype alone, bro.
Bro, 6 months is still a long time. They do that with third-party exclusives. When they have shits at 6 months. Some of them Final Fantasy games.
Once again, I think Helldivers is a great case study for releasing something at the same time when everybody is hyped and could talk about it online on social media. I think it's a great case study and a great more of an argument to more reasons why maybe we should put this shit. Because once again, you said on this podcast, the chat said on this podcast, we do not believe Helldivers 2 will be as popular as it is if it didn't launch simultaneously on PC.
No, I
don't. Let's say, if Helldivers launched a year or 2 years later, J-Man, will it be as poppin' if it launched a year or 2 years later? But
no, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't be as poppin'.
It's in the zeitgeist, but I also think that's a PC. That game speaks to PC. If it was factions, I think there would have been more neck and neck, or PlayStation would have been leading the pack on that type of game. That was day one. I think factions speaks more to the PlayStation community than it does to the PC community. So I do think it's a game. Like Phil Spencer, it's a case by case basis.
But okay. But a game like Spider-Man 2, you think if Nix's had the port ready and it launched? It launched on PC.
Oh, it would have been.
You think it would be past 10 million sales? You don't think it would have been huge?
It would have been major on PC.
It would have been huge.
That game speaks to your grandmother. Like that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Speaks to your
I'm just saying your reach might actually be. Everybody. But Jamie, I feel like your reach might even be more. Like, I feel like just the word of mouth, the buzz surrounding about it, just be hitting the two communities at the same time, might even make you sell even more copies. Might even sell
shit. Want you to buy a PlayStation, dog. They still want you to do
that. But my point in bringing it up is asking you how many exclusive that dropped in 2023, and you said one. People are still buying. So my point in bringing that up is people are still buying PlayStations. Maybe people are still buying PlayStations.
How many bought it for Spider-Man 2? You know what I'm saying? How many people you think bought a PlayStation out of them 21 million that they saw? How many people you think bought a PlayStation 5 for Spider-Man 2?
I think the people who saying the whole point of no console is full of shit, and a PlayStation will still sell. That's my take. No one could change my mind. I think PlayStation will still sell a shit ton of copies. Spider-Man 2 launched on PC at the same time. I don't think all of a sudden PlayStation fucking dies. I don't believe that one bit.
It's gonna be a little bit of. It might even be a little bit of a dip, but it's not gonna be like, oh shit.
It's still gonna be the stop selling.
Fucking map.
No, I don't believe that. People make it sound like it's like that. I don't believe that one bit.
Nah, because they think that's why Xbox is
and I think that's a terrible argument, because Xbox has, once again, before the day and date or the PC Play Anywhere happened, they're already getting smoked 2-1. It's a bigger issue over there at Microsoft, but people want to turn off their brain and just say it's PC's the reason why Xbox is not selling, which is definitely not the case. Xbox not selling because a lot of factors.
Just say crazy. I do love these conversations. I feel like they're so nuanced that, you know, just getting into the weeds of it. Like, I was talking about it. I do.
Yeah.
But
all
yeah,
right,
man.
Let me read some of these super chats. This one is from Type 1. He says, it's been a minute since I could catch y'all live. Switching the camera to third person for Helldivers 2 was a huge addition to the hype, in my opinion. All love. Stay safe. It definitely did help. It definitely did help its appeal to more like the casual audience, more just regular like people. Okay, John the Don says Xbox going through their whole slate arc, and now the fanboys will have to accept it because Microsoft sees the value of multi-platform. Phil salty about Helldivers 2 though. Yes, he is pretty salty.
This is their second whole slate arc because
I know. When the PC was the first one, right?
The PC, 2016.
Quantum Break.
Phil,
Quantum Break.
They was like, it's only gonna be Quantum Break. Don't expect.
And what happened? These guys fell in line. All these guys were mad. They all fell in line, bro. Same shit's gonna happen to all these guys, bro. Like, cut it out, bro. I don't buy y'all. I don't buy y'all. All right.
Yeah, what you think about Phil when he said that he doesn't see who Helldivers benefits not being on Xbox?
Phil, once again, people have to understand. Phil Spencer, once again, he talks too much. That's number one. I think he should just sometimes some of these comments
get the fuck up,
because he's saying that comment about Helldivers, but at the same time, like a game like Hellblade 2 is exclusively on Xbox. So what does that benefit? Like, he just says these things that people just scratch their head. I think he's one of those people who just says, he tries to say the right thing for the moment, but like what he's saying don't really even be making sense because he contradicts himself a lot. You understand?
He contradicted himself in that own statement. He said he doesn't understand who it benefits, but we do the same thing, so I understand it. Like, what? Come on, dog. Just shut up sometimes.
Just sometimes you don't need to talk. I think PlayStation saves themselves a lot of trouble just not talking. You know what? What PlayStation does? They do action. Then maybe in an interview later, they might discuss why they did the action. And I think that's smart. And I think they're going to be their approach. They don't explain. They don't come out and explain nothing to y'all. They just do what they do, what they see is best for their company, right? Because they already know at the end of the day, the hardcore fanboys are going to fall in line. They're going to blow in the wind whatever direction that they say to go in. Right. They're going to go that direction. You know what I'm saying?
Nintendo don't say a fucking word.
They don't say nothing. They just do it. When did you see Nintendo come out and talk? They don't say nothing, but they operate and they're uber successful. So I think once again, Microsoft could learn from those companies and just not talk. Just don't talk, yo. Just sometimes just shut up and just do what you're doing and let's see if it works out for you. You know what I mean? Do what you're doing.
Have they always been like that? Like, did they get to that point? Because
I think it started in the Xbox One.
The Xbox One era.
I think it started with the Xbox One. I don't. Also the internet is a different place too, and social media is a bigger presence in gaming than it ever was before. You know what I'm saying? So,
but they kind of like ushered in this whole renaissance of online gaming and being more connected through people online. So I wonder if they felt like, you know, that was the next evolution of being more connected with the players. Like, is having those personalities that are out there at these events, shake hands, kiss babies. Oh, I'm playing with Phil Spencer online on my Sea of Thieves, like shit like that. Like, I feel like they felt like that was the next evolution, and now that shit is like, you're putting your foot in your mouth.
Yeah. All right,
when you're doing more talking than the games. That's what happens.
Exactly. I think he literally has been caught with his foot in his mouth too many times. All right, can you break down this Alan Wake 2 situation with the chat real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
And the sales?
All right. So, Remedy, our good friends and folks over at Remedy, they came out with some sales numbers. Alan Wake 2 has sold 1.3 1.3 million copies. And it is the fastest selling game to date for Remedy. So back when there was like rumors and rumblings about the sales of Alan Wake 2, it came out that the game, I think it was like around December, that the game was like just shy of 1 million copies sold, or maybe even less. And now back then we were like, oh, that's kind of terrible. That's kind of bad. Like that doesn't seem like it's a good look, especially because Alan Wake 2 was getting a lot of praise from the critics and things like that. But we know that they didn't do a physical release. It was just all digital. But in the press release from Remedy, they came and said that the game has sold 1 million units by the end of December 2023 and 1.3 by the beginning of 2024. So I want to ask the chat, and I'm already seeing some people in the chat say, calling it a flop. Do y'all feel like this game is a flop? Because it's hard for me to say something is a flop when, by Remedy standards, they're saying that this game has been great in terms of sales. So they say by comparison, Alan Wake 2 sold over 50% more copies and over 3 times more digital copies in its first 2 months than Control did in its first 4 months. And they also noted that Control has now sold over 4 million copies since its release in 2019. So is it just that Remedy games don't sell that well? Or don't sell that much? I ain't gonna say well, don't sell that much. And for us, we kind of got to scale back our lenses a little bit because we think 1.3 is so bad. But if they're saying that it's a success, it's generating revenue, it's getting back the money that they spent on development, how can we call something like that a flop? How can we say that? You said they haven't turned a profit.
Yeah, that is true. They haven't turned a profit. I seen that is true.
Okay, so go ahead. Where'd you said that they said that it hasn't turned
I think
a profit?
they have. Yeah, I think I read that as well, that they haven't turned a profit with Alan Wake 2 yet.
Because the quote from this article, they said the successful launch of Alan Wake 2 has supported our other game projects, Condor Control 2. Okay, so it's just supporting. They increased development pace thanks to the personnel release from Alan Wake 2. And we expect these products. Okay, so yeah, they didn't talk about a profit, but they did talk about the success helping them, move on to other projects. So yeah, maybe it didn't turn a profit, but they are calling it a success. So I don't know.
You know what? You know why they're calling it success? Because their games typically don't sell this fast. In this time frame, so they're definitely calling it success. It's probably on track to turn a profit, but I don't think they actually turned a profit just yet.
Right. Because Control, they said only sold 4 million copies since 2019. And I don't know, that game, I thought it did more than that. But
yeah, I don't know, something about Remedy's games that I don't know if it's a marketing issue that they have, but they be getting all these awards sometimes, but they don't sell. People don't run out to buy them because if you think 1.3 on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox is not really like, it's good but not good at the same time. You would think something of the quality would do better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it wasn't on Steam either. I thought it was only on Epic Games.
Yes, it's Epic exclusive as well.
So that
could affect. You already know how PC gamers be like, so that could.
Oh yeah, they fucking hate the Epic Games Store. They're not buying that shit. Even when it comes to Steam, they already pirated it. It's over.
Yeah,
it's over with.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to a Control sequel. I still got Alan Wake 2 on my PC. I'm gonna play that eventually. But I just thought this game would do so much more than what 1.3 million to date, especially with all the praise that it got, awards that it's won.
Yeah, no physical copy. I see. No physical copy as well. I think that affects.
You think it's their stories? You think it's how they tell their stories?
No. Because once again, we can't say that with games like Elden Ring, which we're about to talk about, exists. Most of the people probably playing Elden Rings and Soul Game don't even know what the hell going on with their stories, but they just having a great time in the world. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are just having a great time building their characters. So I don't even think it's that. It could be just a marketing thing that for some, it has to be like some sort of marketing issue because the game quality is there, but it's just not gaining traction. I don't know. Or maybe they're just not releasing their games at a good time. I don't know. Who knows, yo? Who knows the real answer, to be honest?
If they couldn't, the Alan Wake Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes, if they can get those to a point,
That's a bigger brand name too.
But those games didn't sell as like I know that wasn't Remedy. I think that was what Rockstar did those.
No, Remedy did the 1 and 2. Rockstar did
Oh
3.
no, okay. I'm thinking of 3. Yeah, I'm thinking of 3.
Rockstar did 3.
So Max Payne in total and overall being a bigger brand, I think if they can nail those might end up being
their best
like their most successful
I could definitely see
games. Yeah.
I definitely could see
that.
All right. So PlayStation VR. Actually no, Elden Ring. Let's save that for a little bit. Elden Ring.
That's all you, brother.
You didn't
I never beat Elden Ring, no. I played it, but I didn't beat it.
Come on, bro. It didn't connect with you clearly because you wouldn't have. No. Honestly, that game I couldn't put that shit down when I started it, yo.
Yeah, I was.
If you ain't beat it now, then you ain't fucking with it that much.
Not that much. I don't like the open world aspect of it. I definitely come on here and admit that. I don't like that. I don't like the aspect because how I play my Souls games, that shit is just overwhelming to me being open world. So I'm gonna get. I want to play it though. I'm gonna get back to it one day, but I have to have a clean slate. I can't play that shit right now. It's too much other things.
Bro, but all I'm gonna say is they're asking for $39.99, 50 some Canadian dollars, and
for the expansion.
I might give them an extra 20. I can't wait to play this damn game, bro. You have no idea.
You buy collector's edition? Or I might even $250.
The only reason why I'm not buying that collector's edition because it doesn't come with a physical copy of the game. If it did, I would 100% buy it. I would.
Don't you already got a physical copy of it?
Bro, but I want. Yo, the Japanese.
The DLC not gonna be physical.
Yeah, but the Japanese version got a physical copy with their limited edition one, bro. I'm so jealous, bro. And it got like the new art on it.
A physical copy of the DLC.
Elden Ring, but it got like a new artwork on it.
Oh, okay.
The latest, the Japanese version of the collector's edition, but us in Canada and America, we get a digital code, so I think I'm gonna skip on that. But bro,
this shit gonna come with the case, but nothing in it with a code.
Yo, prior to seeing Tifa and Final Fantasy Rebirth, I was calling this game of the year, and it was an expansion. But that Tifa got me changing my mind a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I'm playing remake. I've been like, yo, when we doing another mission with Tifa, like I'm trying to see what that be like.
Yeah, it got me changing my mind a little bit. I think Final Fantasy might be game of the year. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, that sounds looking. But what you think of this Elden Ring DLC trailer? Like, you like what you're seeing?
I like what I'm seeing. It looks like it's gonna be huge, expansive, and thing.
Who this nigga? This nigga that's supposed to, I guess, be like the main villain of this. He related to might be spoiler alert, but he related to Melania.
I think so. I think that the rumors are saying like is his brother or something like that, or I think.
Yeah, look, even Kofi don't even know what the story about. 100 hours in the game.
The lore is freaking too. It's a little confusing with Great Ruins and this that. I gotta watch a 1-2 YouTube videos so refresh my memory, but
yeah,
I can't. I think it has to do. I think has to do something with one of Radagon's offspring, something like that. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go do my research on the lore and come back with the story details. But do you see these boss fights? Jay, man?
Yo, it was one enemy on there I saw. I was like, yeah, From Software is top tier when it comes to the boss designs. Like that shit. It was so many moving parts to the enemy. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, I can't wait to play it. Honestly, it looks fantastic. Is it confirmed to be releasing on the PS4 as well? Do you know?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in that.
I was kind of hoping it would be like this a next gen exclusive so they could push the limits a little bit. Obviously, Elden Ring, look, it's not the best graphically game that we've ever seen, but I think they always nailed the art direction. Like the art direction of these games are always fire. It looks like literally like a painting, like a painting. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just can't wait to play the game though. It looks super dope. It's coming out June 21st.
June 21st. Yeah. So in the summertime, it's probably gonna be one of the slower months. Oh no, what? Yeah, I think the only other thing that I know of note that's coming out in June is Destiny, the final
Nobody
shape.
Playing,
I think it's called.
Nobody playing that, bro. Come on.
Oh no, niggas gonna be on that. It's just a matter if it's good or not. So that shit better be good because niggas gonna drop that shit for Elden Ring at the quick, fast, and in a hurry. So they definitely got to be careful. But yeah, June 21st. I think it looks good. Like they talking about it having. Hold on, there was some notes about, what the what the expansion is supposed to entail. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh yeah, so Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Erdtree,
From Software's largest expansion to date, guided by Maquelia into the land of shadow, a completely new world from the lands between, seamlessly travel back and forth between the land of shadows, vast maps, new weapons, skills, and magic exclusive to the expansion, new storyline, bosses, dungeons, and more. Surface area will be larger than Limgrave. Over 10 new boss fights, 8 new weapon categories. Structure is similar to the base game with vast fields, legacy dungeons, and smaller dungeons.
Bro, this is like another game, bro.
Yeah, that's another game. So that's what the conversation has been about it being $40. Like, do you feel like
nobody's complained?
I've seen crazy.
Nobody complained.
No, not one. I was saying, do you feel like they were crazy to drop it at $40?
What it is some games get the pass, bro. We have to stop pretending like pedigree doesn't account for anything in the gaming industry. Some games get certain passes and some games don't. I'm sorry it works like that, but that's kind of life. That's kind of life in general. Some games get some great. Some people have grades. Some people don't have grades. The thing is, From Software has been consistent, delivering greatness for such a long period of time that the consumer is confident in the work that they do. They could come out and say, "Yo, our DLC is $40." Usually, it's unheard of for expansion. Usually, not priced this high, but we know it's going to be massive. We know it's gonna. They're not gonna rob us. It's called trust in the developers. You know what I'm saying? And there's some games, I'll happily pay more for it. There's some games like, clearly it's not worth this. It's not worth this at all.
GTA
like this ain't
6?
even worth $60. This ain't even worth $60. I won't pay. But there's some games that low key, if this was going for $100. After playing this shit, I might have copped it for $100. Like, I'm pretty sure they said GTA right now, $90. GTA 6. So you're gonna be like, I'm not paying for that. Come on, let's keep it $1,000. We're all buying that.
I'm buying it. Huh? Yeah. So
we all buying that.
Don't get no fucking ideas, Ross.
Don't get ideas. Don't get no ideas. But I would pay for it. But still, look, I'm not advocating for games to be more. But I'm just saying, if it turned out to be that, I'm gonna shut up. Because you already know what they're gonna do. You already know what they do.
Yeah, but like you was like From Software. I mean, I've only played one of their DLCs, which was the Bloodborne shit. That shit was fantastic, phenomenal, and that was, I think, it was like $20 at the time. So if this is talking about being big as Limgrave, which I think is like the main area in Elden Ring. Yeah, man, having all these different weapons and fighting styles. I'm seeing like hand-to-hand combat styles and all this other shit. Different bosses. Like it looks like they put a lot of work into this.
It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it.
Oh, Witcher 2, yeah. So with the because I think even with CD Projekt Red, like they fucked up with the launch of Cyberpunk, and then they came back, did those updates, and people still bought that fucking DLC expansion for $30.
Yeah,
no complaints.
No complaints. Yeah. Once again, some people got that great, some people don't. From Software, nobody's gonna open their mouth and complain about this because you already know what they're gonna deliver. It's gonna be fantastic. So I can't wait to play. June 21st is actually very, very close to my birthday, bro. So I'm gonna be enjoying that. For my birthday, I just want no one to bug me, and I'm just gonna be on the game 24/7. That's what I want. That's my birthday.
You fuck with the PvP in Elden Ring at all?
No, I haven't tried that out yet. Actually, I do want to try. I do want to install it back, and I will, J-Man, before you start your narrative, I will be playing on PlayStation. I will be buying the game on PlayStation.
What, you got to get the platinum still? What's going on with that?
I do want the trophies, number one. And if we keep it at 1,000, there's the reason why I don't want to buy this game on PC. Yes, there's no ultra-wide support. Yes, there's mods for ultra-wide support, but you have to play the game offline. That means you can't co-op with nobody. You can't do anything. The workaround to get ultra-wide support, you have to play the game offline. I'm not trying to play the game offline. You know what I mean? So
you won't be co-oping like that. You could play it off.
I play with Strat. I played with Strat before to help his bum ass out a little bit. You know what I mean? In Elden Ring, I feel like
I was about to say he was helping you out. Let me find out.
Yeah,
let me find out niggas was helping you out. Oh Lord.
Oh please. Nah, but that should be lit. That should be lit. I'll definitely be picking it up. And I'm pretty sure they even do lock it at 60. Even though once again you can use mods to like make the frame rate higher. Yeah, but From Software's PC, honestly, Armored Core 6 was probably their best efforts at a PC port. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't know. They might surprise us with this Elden Ring. It might have some more PC integration with better features and shit like that. So we never know. We never know. A Kofi dip, that brother be gone. All right, so we got the Elden Ring expansion trailer. We also got a word from the boss man, the god himself, Miyazaki, in terms of, I think this might have been one of the first times he's ever acknowledged Bloodborne since probably like around when it came out. So they asked him, you know, of course, fans have been clamoring for something Bloodborne related, and you know, a remake, a remaster, shit, a 60 FPS update, I think would suffice at this point. They want something. But Miyazaki had came and said he was very happy to see the fans calling for a Bloodborne remake. He says, in a quote, "It is a title we hold very dear and just as much as our fans. It does make me very happy to see that there are still so many people passionate about it. Put simply, it makes me very happy to see it's a title with a lot of specific memories, both for me and the staff who worked on it. And when we see those passionate voices in the community, of course, it makes us feel thrilled. It makes us feel very fortunate to have that and to have those memories." Now I think they asked him about, you know, what would it take for like a remake or something like that. And he pretty much danced around it, but he talked about alluding to like new platforms create opportunities for games to be remade using the new technology and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say that's confirming anything, but he does acknowledge that the fans want something more, and he does talk about, you know, new platforms creating new opportunities. So I don't think at this point, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we'll ever see a Bloodborne sequel. The most I think we'll get from Bloodborne is potentially a remake or a very, very, you know, detailed remaster. That's pretty much. I wouldn't even say it's going to be a remake in the sense that like a Final Fantasy VII or a Resident Evil 2. It's going to be a remake in the fashion of a Last of Us, how Last of Us Part 1 was. It's going to be the same game, essentially 1-to-1, but the visuals are going to be, you know, next level. The gameplay, you know, is going to be fine tuned more. Of course, 60 FPS and all those other visual fidelity modes. But I just don't think they're doing anything else with that IP because, one, I think they're going to want Miyazaki and his team to make a Bloodborne 2, and I just don't think that they want to do something like that. I don't think they're interested in doing like a Bloodborne sequel because they're on to making other things. They got Elden Ring DLC. They probably got either a sequel to Elden Ring coming out or a new IP that they're working on. So I don't see them backtracking. But I think a 1-to-1 remake would suffice, would make the fans happy. Sony owns the Bloodborne IP, so he can't do anything about it until their approval. Yeah, I don't even think it's up. Like, of course, it's up to Sony, but I don't even think they want to do anything with it. You wouldn't mind a 1-to-1 remake for Bloodborne? Yeah, I think that's the most we'll get from it. And I know there was that rumor about it being like a PS6 game. It's possible, maybe like end of PS5, PS6 game. A different studio can make one. Yeah, they can, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about a new or a different type of studio. I think some people were suggesting like how I forget the name of it. I don't know if it's NeoWiz or something like that with the Lies of P developers. Like maybe they could do something with it. I don't think so. I think if it's going to be a sequel, I think it has to be from Software. It has to be them, for sure. I'm carrying the podcast this week. Come on, you know, co-host with the most. I do it all, baby. I do it all.
My bad. The baby. You got a super chat?
Nah. Yeah, I got you. We got some super chats. We got one super chat from Papa John. Shout out to Papa John's for the super chat. He said it came out that the PS5 is being outpaced by the PS4. Do y'all think PS5 Pro will cost $600+ since it doesn't seem like the PS5 is getting any price cuts? That whole PS5 is being outpaced by the PS4. I do think that margin is very slim.
Small.
But
It's small.
yeah, it's very close. But I do think that because the PS5 hasn't had any significant price drops, that definitely could be a reason. At this point in the PS4 life cycle, they had a price drop. They had slims, they had pros, like they had all different types of shit going on.
It remained the
But they talked
same
about
price.
they talked about the PS5 having the parts have not come down in price, so they can't do price cuts. Shit
so
like
full
that.
of
So.
shit, bro.
But do I think the PS5 Pro will be 600? Yes, I do.
$599. What did they go for right now? What does it go for right now?
$499. And they ain't coming up off that. They ain't coming up off that.
You may be right.
Like they ain't, and if prices of the parts ain't getting no cheaper, like I don't know, a PS5 Pro, would it have similar parts just clocked higher, something like that, or would it have some type of newer parts? I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but it's gonna be more than what the PS5 is now. So unless the PS5 regular gets a price cut, then the lowest I could see it being is like $549.
They take like $50 off the top.
Yeah, and they'll take $50 off both. So the PS5 OG would be $449 for the disc joint, and then the PS5 Pro would be for $549.
Well, the thing is, like, it depends. If they have a plan that if like you could discount the console, right? Maybe your profit margins won't be as much, but if you think you'll sell more units, and you'll make it in the back end kind of a situation,
Yeah.
Getting people into the ecosystem and stuff like that. So pricing it appropriately is always a good factor too. You know what I'm saying? But the way PlayStation is selling as it is, I don't see them doing many changes, to be honest, because it's still selling a lot. Yes, it might be tracking under the PS4, but it's not, like you said, it's not by much. From what I saw too, it's not by much.
Right.
You heard the latest news, sir? You heard the latest news? I want this to be
the VR shit.
Yeah, the VR stuff. Finally, they should have done this at
took
launch.
That shit at the bottom of the blog post. Dog. When I seen it, I'm like, wait, what? I didn't even see it. Hear about this? That shit was tucked at the bottom. Yeah. But yes, like you said, they should have been. They should have
been doing this. So if you don't know, PlayStation VR 2 is soon going to be compatible with PC. PlayStation is currently working on to make it compatible, and even prior to this launch, it was actually a popular plane. This is one thing that is not really even too much of a hot take. Even some of the PlayStation fanboys with some sense thought it would have been a good idea to launch it on PC, because once again,
I'm about to say, because there were still some people that was like, nah, this is a bad idea. But
no, this is a great idea. This is a great idea, and it fits in line with everything that they're doing with the whole PC integration. I'm thinking the storefront and trophies. At least trophies is gonna be next in some capacity.
Trophies,
some sort of login. I think that's gonna be nice.
I think there's rumors that they're working.
Trophies. Yeah, I think they're working on it. I think we're gonna see trophies soon. Yeah, like you're saying, this year is quite a possibility, because I did see an article last year saying that I think some people were doing some database, how they do that data mining shit, and they found something about PSPC trophies and stuff like that. So clearly it's in the works. It's just a matter of time when we actually do see it. But I think that's just the integration. Like, once again, PlayStation has been going towards this direction for a long time with the PC integration, and being PlayStation VR 2 supporting PC is very dope. I have one, courtesy of PlayStation. Shout out to them. It's a great product. Point blank period. It's a great product. I have nothing bad to say in terms of the tech that it offers. Right. But the software that's available, yes, if you go on a storefront, there's maybe 200 games or under 200 games available. Doesn't mean all of them are bangers, There's only a few bangers in my personal opinion. So it being compatible with PC is just a great idea for a consumer like me, who does have a capable PC, who does actually have a VR library on PC. Like, I have Half-Life Alyx, I have other games on there. So I can now utilize this great headset on my PC. It's just like a no-brainer. It's a win-win. And I think it brings more value to the device itself, especially if you have a hard time moving it. Because right now, if it's compatible with PC, J-Main, it's on paper, go check on paper. It's very comparable to the Valve Index, and even beats the Valve Index in certain areas, or maybe some areas the Valve Index wins, but it's very comparable, but it's way cheaper. You know what I'm saying? It's way cheaper. I think the Valve Index goes for like 1,400 Canadian. I'm about to check right now. I don't know if you can check out the price. Yeah, it might be 90.
Is that only on Steam?
Yeah, and you only can buy it on Steam too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Then.
Let's see if they drop the price. Okay, the headset itself, Canadian, The headset itself, no controllers, is six. I feel like they dropped the price. It's 650 Canadian. I don't know.
Oh, then that's definitely lower than I thought.
Yeah, it's lower.
Oh, just that. But you need.
That's just but that's just the headset.
If you but you need like the
exactly. If you want the controllers with it and the base stations, because I think you need to set up. You might need to set up base stations.
Don't you need them sensors too? Like
I feel like maybe it's not mandatory. Maybe it's mandatory for outside play. I'm not 100% sure, but it costs 1,300 Canadian if I want the complete Valve Index kit.
Yeah. Okay.
It costs $989 Canadian for the headset and the controllers. I'm just saying, if you put the specs on paper between the two devices, man, it makes the PlayStation VR 2 look really attractive with what it offers. Right. So it being available on PC is a no-brainer, and PlayStation should have launched this like this and marketed it like this. Works on both from day one. Maybe they would have seen better results if they did this from the very beginning.
They were definitely trying to get as many people like, all right, let's see how it does, just being the only PlayStation 5 type of thing. But once they realized that shit ain't working, they immediately was like,
we gotta work on the PC.
And if I think, and I said this before, I think if they're really serious about staying in the VR market, which I don't think they are, because I think the software isn't there from them, that I think they're really serious about it. But if they do show me otherwise, and they start coming out with more software from them and backing a lot of bigger games that are taking VR, to the next level, come out with a wireless version. And I think that can actually do something, because we've seen what the Meta Quest is doing, being wireless, and I know it's going to take a hit fidelity wise, but I think you have that option.
All-in-one. You mean all-in-one system, because a wireless and an all-in-one is different. Because I think I mentioned this to you on Twitter. I seen you tweet this. You mean not if it's so you want the hardware actually built in, like the VR headset.
Into the headset.
So you don't require a PlayStation.
Right.
That's because if you still require a PlayStation and it's wireless, I personally think you run into the same issues. The entry barrier is still too high. Sure. It's still too high. You still need a $700 console. You need the $700 headset.
Right, to have a headset with no entry barrier. Like, you buy the headset and you can play the VR games from PlayStation. Yeah, and if you want, like, I don't know if they have. How does it work with the Quest? Can you connect it to a PC and have access to more games?
Yes, you can. You can do it wirelessly and wired.
Right, and then if people want it like full fidelity, because the Quest wireless, it probably takes a hit with screen.
It takes a little bit. Yes, it's best if you use the PlayStation Link cable. Oculus Link cable.
This Oculus Link cable. Right.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
So then you have that option. But I think that wireless one would do better than the shit that they selling for $500 right now. Like, I think it'll do better, because I think the Quest has shown that VR is still, it probably will always be, but it's still so niche that having barriers to entry, in addition to already selling somebody on something that's not the standard way of playing, is big. So you got to get people in. You got to get people in with the least amount of resistance as possible. And
that's why the Quest has shown
that and proved that.
Yeah.
And the 3 is doing well. Like, the 2 took it to the next level. 3 did well, and they have that exclusive game too that was reviewed well. So yeah, they did everything right. They lead in that in terms of success with having people on their platform. They lead that market.
Yeah, I already gave you my prediction. I think this is the last PlayStation VR headset we see.
I think so too.
I don't think they make another one. I think they go the handheld route. That was my prediction. I think they go the handheld right for next generation. I think we're finally gonna get that dedicated PlayStation handheld device that's gonna play games natively. Not gonna have exclusives, J-Main, sorry, but it's gonna have games. It's just gonna play your PS5.
It's like, nah.
It's just gonna play your PS5. It's just gonna play your PS5 or your latest console games on the go, and it's gonna utilize remote play and native gameplay. I definitely think they're going that route.
Sony wouldn't even be able to handle having exclusive handheld games. So
they can't make no exclusive VR games.
They can't even do that. So they're not gonna do no handheld games either. They are a console only first party. And
it's smart. The strategy works, right? We've seen it with the Nintendo Switch. The strategy works. Just we have this handheld version, right, and the console version. The strategy does work. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Nintendo was able to combine
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Console and handheld
studios. Experience. And honestly, if PlayStation were to make an extension of their whatever console they are coming next, and then the handheld version, it's pretty much the same thing. You know what I mean? pretty to me personally, it's like kind of the same type of shit.
It's different. It's definitely different.
Why is it different? Just one you dock it, why is it because you need 2 pieces of hardware? That's why you say it's different?
No, from a hardware perspective.
I'm saying from an experience perspective, it's the same because you're playing the same games, but you just have to go buy separate hardware for the portability aspect.
I see what you're saying there, but I feel like when Nintendo is different with the games, like the games that they offer for the Switch is a combination of those studios only having to focus on.
Yeah, that's why the output's better versus the Wii U. Yeah, versus the Wii U.
Whereas
the output's better.
They won't have that luxury of having those, like they won't have the luxury of having those studios combined. I see what you're saying. You
see what I'm trying to say, right? You see what I'm trying to say. I don't know. It's kind of like the experience. Yeah, obviously you're gonna need 2 pieces of hardware versus the Switch. You just buy one and you have the dock, right? But this one you need 2. But essentially your experience is the same. You're just playing your home console on the go.
Right.
You're playing your home console.
But that would be the difference is that you do have to buy another device to go on the go.
Another device. That's like the difference. Yeah, that is the difference. Mm-hmm. Okay, but yeah, the whole piece. PlayStation VR 2.
Kofi, let the record reflect that you ducked that bet about
only because you changed it. Only because you changed it. Only because you changed it.
Let the record reflect Kofi ducked the handheld bet with PlayStation
because J-Man changed it. He changed the time frame a little bit. He's trying to finesse me. He knows J-Man knows that PlayStation is about to drop a single player major game on PC, so he's trying to get one up on me on this handheld. He's trying to finesse me a little bit.
He was head over heels for the bet when I first mentioned it.
Yeah, because that 4 years was extracted. Then he made it say he said 3 years. I'm like, whoa,
that's what hold up. The VR did $5 million in 3 years.
First of all, the reality of the fact we should be using PSVR 2 sales metrics. And
no.
Why are we going back all the way to the PlayStation 4 generation?
They actually supported the VR 1 better than they did the 2. So I ain't fucking with the VR 2. I mean, I would still want to get one, but I ain't fucking with that shit in terms of support.
But yeah, so that's good news, man. That's overall good news. I'd love to see it. Once again, love to see it. More of this integration happening. And
do you think they're going full support or are they going half-ass it? Like
they have to do full support. It makes no sense if they don't do full support. If they just do it for like, it works for 3 games, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Don't even do it.
I'm just trying to
read full support.
Right.
You have to be able to go
between the lines.
You should be able to launch Steam VR off the PlayStation shit. They have to just make that work, and
it recognizes
it just like how it recognizes Oculus when you plug it into Steam. It has to be just like that. If it's not like that, we don't want it. Facts. Yeah. And I think it leads credence to the NVIDIA GeForce leak, because if you don't remember, J-Main, Gran Turismo 7 is supposed to launch on PC. Right. Interesting, right? That was on the
so
GeForce
that might be this year too.
Yeah. Maybe that's why this shit's taking a little bit longer, because they want to work out some of these kinks out. Yeah, like everything got a roadmap and a plan, so everything's gonna fall into place the way it falls into place. But we know GT7 is rumored to launch on PC, and it does have VR support. So who knows? Maybe this could be where they show that off. J-Main, they just came out and said that they're working on the VR shit for the PC, and we know GT7 got leaked. So I'm putting 2 and 2 together. I'm putting 2 and 2 together.
If they're gonna launch it on PC, I think having it with the VR
support is smart.
Would definitely get more sales and people more excited to pick that up.
That's smart.
That is smart.
I'm almost guaranteed they're gonna have that ready by the time GT7 drops. It will have to be ready. Yeah. It just makes so much sense.
Or don't even come out with it until it's ready.
Yeah, like that just makes so much sense. Sure now you could promote the PC version having VR support. That's like super dope. And you can use PSVR if you have one. Like it's a no-brainer.
And that can get people to buy the platform on PC, like for PC.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know. I was just reading between the lines because they say they're currently testing the ability of PlayStation VR 2 players to access additional games on PC. I don't know that additional games.
Additional word, right? The word.
It gets me worried that it's going to be a couple games that work, but
I don't think so. I think that's kind of silly if it just supports like 2 or 3. It has to just work across the board. It has to just work across the board. I think PlayStation is smart enough to know this. They got to know this. All right, man. Let's wrap it up.
For sure. Let's get on up out of here.
Yes, sir. Good game in episode 60. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation. Shout out to J-Man for being the MVP, holding it down when I have to get up and down for the baby a little bit.
And, for sure. I heard he was giving y'all hell in the background. He was giving y'all hell, so I don't know, but I know. I don't know, but I know. So I had nephews and nieces and shit. I know that shit
for holding it down this episode. I definitely appreciate it. Sorry, guys. I was up and down a lot. this podcast. But you guys already know what it is, man. Baby has to come first. So I'm about to go watch them. And hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. And we'll be back next week.
We
didn't talk about Rebirth. We didn't.
I was gonna mention that real quick about the reviews came out for Rebirth.
Let's save it for the next podcast so we can talk about it properly. I'm gonna just take it off the title. Let's talk about it properly next podcast.
Do you know when the game comes out?
I think in 7 days. Maybe by the podcast time it comes out, actually.
Okay,
so we'll talk about it.
Okay, so yeah, the 29th. The 29th. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I'll try to put a couple hours in.
Yeah, so we both could play it, then we'll come back about the reviews and stuff like that. So
all right, bet. We'll do that.
All right, yeah, we'll do that for next week. I apologize, guys, but I got to dip. Appreciate all the super chat donations, and we'll see you guys next week. We are recording another Patreon episode on Sunday, so look out for that.